Hello everyone, my name is Haley Scott and today is September 3rd, 2022 and I will be talking about anatomical terminology. So the first one that I'm going to go with is anterior, which is also known as dorsal, and this is pertaining to the front of your body. An example of this is your ribs are anterior to your spine. The next phrase that we're going to go with is posterior, which is pertaining to the back of your body, and this is known as ventral. So an example of this is your occipital bone is posterior to your frontal bone. Next one is superior, which is also known as cranial, and this is toward the head or upper part of the structure. An example of this would be your lungs are superior to your liver. The fourth position we'll be going over is inferior, also known as quadral, and this is away from the head or the lower structure of the body. An example of this would be your small intestines are inferior to your stomach. The next phrase that we'll be going over is proximal. Proximal means close to. So an example of this is your scapula is proximal to your humerus. Another phrase is distal, and this is far from. So an example of this would be your wrist is distal to your elbow. Another phrase is lateral, which means away from the midline of the body. So an example of this is your lungs are lateral to your heart. Another phrase is medial, which is toward the midline of the body. So an example of this is your trachea is medial to your clavicles. Another phrase is superficial, also known as external, and this is toward the body surface. So I'm going to use my arm as an example. So this is epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis, or also subcutaneous fat. So my epidermis is superficial to my dermis. Going right along with this is deep, which is also known as internal, and this is away from the body surface. So like I did before, I'm going to use my arm, and so my hypodermis is deep from my dermis. The next term is the sagittal plane, also known as longitudinal, and this means lengthwise. And so if I were to use my head, I would be splitting it like this, just completely like this, all right? Another one is the transverse plane, also known as the horizontal plane. So this is your body being divided into the superior and inferior portions of your body. So if I were to use my head as an example again, it would be split just like this. The last one is the frontal plane, also known as the coronal plane, and it is being split into anterior and posterior. So if I use my head, I would be split just like this. Well, I hope that was very informative for you guys, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them down in the comment section below. Thank you.